One take, first take, let's do this. It is Leap Day, bitches, which, believe it or not, is my birthday. So, to celebrate me, we're gonna do my deck profile. But, no, just kind of an updated list. Channels popped off a little bit. Voiceless is still the move. We don't have the continuous spell yet from the next set, but as soon as that drops, obviously the deck gets a little bit of a buff. I do like how people are taking the deck in different directions. I'm still playing pure, I think, with hand traps. Obviously there's the branded variant, which I think that's cute, but I don't think it's necessarily the sauce or like the best in my opinion. The Dragon Lock is kind of cool. But I do think that pure is still, and I don't know, like there was a gentleman that specifically said that Super Poly isn't good because it's good players play around it, but then there's other people that also topped the event or the most recent YCS that said Super Poly is absolutely busted. So it's definitely just one of those things where it depends on who you talk to. There's no like 100% correct way, I guess, to play the deck per se, but it is kind of funny that there's altering opinions on that. I still like the Super Poly in the main. I think it's an easy side out, but I think it catches people pretty well. Obviously, yes, if you don't play into it, it does not hit you. But for all intents and purposes, I still think the card's pretty cracked. I just got a awesome present from my girlfriend. She made me sleeves for my channel. I've been talking about doing these forever, and she surprised the shit out of me with these, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. Bless her soul. They're magic size, so I'm going to end up ordering some Yu-Gi-Oh size ones regardless. But if y'all want to start getting on some barely Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves, I think these are pretty sick. I'd either do this or my channel logo, but I think this is kind of cool. I think these are like it's kind of fun. And then if you double sleeved it, obviously it would look pretty clean and wouldn't have to worry about it wearing down. But I've always wanted to make something. I mean, I'll probably end up designing my own mat at some point as well and releasing a few of those. But she pulled the trigger on this way before I did, which I thought was pretty sweet. So I love kind of feedback on that, but if you guys like how that looks, obviously I think I would size it a little bit more so the B and the Y, it's 100% like centered in there. But conceptually, like, these are clean as shit. I thought this was kind of fucking dope. So I do think it's funny that my girlfriend was the one that made it happen before I did, but shout out to you. Love you, babe. She'll never watch this, it doesn't fucking matter. But let's get into this shit. Regardless, feast your eyes, because we've got barely Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves. This shit's getting official. All right. There's really, let's leave this out. We're happy, we're proud. 2 crazy starting off, 3 low. That shit is never going to change. 3 diviner, and then the herald. I'm sorry, Trias, hierarchia. I believe in my last profile I didn't even have this. This package is still insane. I love the fact that she can help you bounce around hand traps, the Imperm, Veiler. I don't ever foresee this lineup changing anytime soon. It's just too cracked. The 3 Saphira still. Card is probably the best card like in the deck, to be honest. I mean, in terms of like the monsters, I mean the Guardian and Low are obviously fire, but like in terms of what she helps facilitate, being able to add back and just generating plays so you can play under Droll with her, I would probably, yeah, I think Saphira might be the best card. And then Rituals, just 2 and 2 for Service and Skull. I think we might play, keep all the extra goodies in here. Whenever the new spell comes out, Blessings, I think that then that's when we play the Odd Eyes and like a package to go with it. Another tech card that I've been thinking about throwing in the monster lineup. I'm sure some people have already seen it floating around or conversations about it. but the Spirit, Logath, level 7 Fairy Light. She prompts based off of your low or your diviner, but for breaking boards, I mean, it is a banishing effect, which is pretty sweet. I've seen some feedback on her, and some people are saying that she's the goo. So if you're looking for tech options or cards that haven't seen a ton of play yet that seem to be getting pretty good feedback, definitely an option that I would look into. There pretty much is, that's really it in terms of spice, but that is something I've been flirting around with. Obviously there's higher rarities than just the rare, but good tech. For hand traps, there are, I don't know if there's any argument against, like, I don't know if I can not play Droll still. I think you could swap it out for Veilers, perhaps. That would be another alternative. Or if you don't think Droll's that good, I mean, you obviously could play something else. 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru, and 2 Imperm still. I think this is the same lineup as my initial list. I have not changed this. I've added more hand traps to my side deck, but at the YCS, this performed pretty all right. 3 Nib, I think, is still like absolutely mandatory because you can either tribute it for your own ritual summons due to him being a light, or just being able to break boards is Nib is too good this format. Imperm, if I had a third ulti, I'd probably sneak it in, or could drop down a Droll and play a third ulti. But I am so anal about my it kills me. So I'll pick one up eventually. But Droll, regardless, Ash, if you play against fire and they get 1 extra body, who gives a damn? Just Nibiru 'em. Or, no, I'm just kidding. But no, I think Ash is still way too impactful to not play. I don't think I would change. Again, I think Droll and Lockbird's the only one that I would have any remote variants. There was a guy that actually topped the YCS. Well, there was a team that they're all playing Voiceless, and one guy played Imperm. He said that it was insane all day and that he loved it. And then one of his teammates that was also playing Voiceless said that he did not think Imperm was that good. He cut it and did not play it at all. And so again, it really just comes down to who you talk to. As much as I want the deck to be dialed in as well as possible, it just kind of goes to show that it just kind of there's always going to be some room for personal preference and how well you play the cards that allocate to your play style. So 1 Radiance for the only other trap, and then 2 Prayer. OTS Supers, Konami, get to it. 3 Blessing, that is also never going to change. It is probably the best spell card in the deck, just in terms of it searches you literally anything. We do play, I still am on 3 Super Poly. Again, there are a lot of feedback from the YCS, different perspectives on it. The gentleman that I played at YCS Indy when I was playing Earth Machines, he was playing Labyrinth. He was the guy wearing the I'm Knuff. He was on stream actually at both events whenever I played him right before. Regardless, he was the one playing the Voiceless at the YCS, and he said that he did not miss Super Poly at all after he cut it. So, I mean, it's always an option. I do not play Prosperity, where a lot of people are definitely on Prosperity, so that's also, I do like the board breaking capabilities though, and I think that if you Super Poly someone, it does put you at a very advantageous position, and with Branded becoming more and more popular, it does absolutely shit on them. Pre-prep, this was at 3, I believe. In my last profile, I cut this down to 2. Definitely very powerful card. They're definitely got some cool perspectives on it from people or profiles that I've seen from the YCS. Just in fact, if you resolve this and they draw you, typically that adds enough to your hand that you're able just to win from there. So I wouldn't play any less than 2, but if you don't want 3, that's fine. But 2 or 3. 1 instant, 1 talents, and then 1 called by. Instant, something that I'm trying. Definitely not the first person to try it out, but it's something that, again, kind of conceptualized since the beginning of the deck, but haven't put it into effect. But again, gotta always try out new ideas. I do like the fact, you can summon out Ents, which that never really comes up. Mud Dragon, if you need to activate his effect to protect yourself from being targeted, which is kind of cool. Or 1,000 or Millenniumize Restrict if you're going first, just to be able to play under hand traps, which in my most recent Fire king video, I got to play it. It didn't really come up in that regard, but the fact is that it's kind of like another Called by the Grave, but a little bit more utility. And Called by turns off like your own Ash and Droll and shit, where this does not. Talents, again, just the one of. I don't want to break on it per se, but I do love the. I mean, it's if you resolve talents, you should be winning. And then Called by, just again to make your opponent go 1-for-1 for your opponent, but allow your plays to go through. Card is still insane. So 40 card main deck. I've not bumped it up any further. I'm really trying to keep it dialed in at 40. I won locals last night too. I guess that should kind of go to say that. I mean, I went 4-0, but it was local, so it wasn't anything crazy by any means. Round 1, I played against Pearly. Nothing. I mean, it wasn't like an exceptional round by any means, but it was Pearly. Game 2, I played against Fire King. That was the only time I dropped a game, and then round 3, I played against Flunderies, 2-0'd. And then round 4, I played against Sword Soul. He bricked pretty bad in game 1. He just opened up ham traps. So I was able to kind of outpace him a little bit. It was a little back and forth, not really. And then game 2, I ashed his Ecclesia and was able to slightly get ahead of him there, and then just ended up taking the game from that point. So, did win. More birthday. So that was kind of fun. But, definitely, oh God, we just need that new continue spell. All right, extra deck. This one has changed up a little bit since last profile. Anima, Greenbow, SP, and then 2 Charmers. Definitely, again, I'm gonna keep saying, so mixed feedback, but these are definitely optional or techie, but I love being able to take an SP or a Link Greenbow and use it as link material, keep going up into like an access code play. I think this will become more prominent as we go into the next format. If Fire gets hit, people will kind of gravitate towards Voiceless a little bit, and then I think it'll definitely pick up speed or momentum or just popularity if that. So obviously if more light decks become a thing as well, but again, if it's not really, I don't know. I think that line is definitely still a good tech option, especially at the mirror match. If you get hit with the mirror match, I have not gotten to really play the mirror match nearly as much as I want to, which I've got like 1. There's a couple people, or Reese is playing it at locals now. There's a couple people that I think have cores, but no one else has gotten all their lows and whatnot. So whenever the tech actually picks up and people are playing it, line it will be absolutely great. 2 Dyna. I think it's fine at 2. Some people still play 1. It really comes down to if you can justify only playing 1. I do think the second one comes up, so it's not bad. And then the 1 access code. God, I fucking hate my Cold Rare. Playing the 1 Herald and 1 Typhon. Looking at these as the rarity. I know that these should both be Starlights too, which, whatever. For the fusions, these are all, well, diviner target, instant fusion target, technically all instant fusion targets. These are really the only 2 that you'll ever make, unless you need to summon this and like link it off to pop a card, which again you can do. Again, branded, but I think these are always going to be your 2 most generic. There is the link. I do have that golem, the AI golem or whatever as well, that I was playing. It just really wasn't coming up enough, but that's obviously another really solid target that you can play as well. So again, it really kind of comes down to whatever you think you're going to get the most utility out of. This does come up every once in a while, so it's funny that it does. But whenever you open up the Trias and a Diviner, it's nice to have that because it can still give you value out of everything that you're using. Your opponent doesn't know that you have the Trias either. All right. I never noticed that, but 1 first, 2 not, but never looked at the gold stamp. 3 Crow, this could be Bell's also really good right now too, but I like the idea of Crow. It is good in testing. I mean, I think I've only gotten to resolve it once so far, but I think that Crow and Bell are both very impactful right now. Cosmic, still, it should go without saying. There's like summon limit, anti-spell, all of the field spells that you can hit. If I had a quarter for every time I said 3 Cosmic, I would have a lot of quarters. 3 enemy controller, I still think that this is pretty good. I've had good success with this. You could play more hand traps in this spot, but for what it's worth, I think enemy controller has been working pretty well. It's really good at cracking boards and protecting your low and diviners. Evenly matched. It's still evenly matched. If you resolve this card and get value off of it, there's no reason that you should typically lose the game. But that being said, doesn't necessarily mean you have to play it. 3 summon limit. I still think that everyone is on summon limit, but this card catches fire off guard so well. Fuck Flown, like I don't know, anyone that summons more than twice just crumbles to this card. So unless you're playing the mirror match or like Kaioshin or some dumb shit, it pretty much stings. I love the Cyframe Delta and Gamma package. I have not tried them out yet, but I have a soft spot for Cyframes. So that's definitely, I mean, if you were like, I don't want to play Evenlies or enemy controllers, it's 5 cards, but that is definitely, it's the Gamma, 3 Deltas, and the Driver. That's a really cool idea for hand traps as well, especially if you're going second. You can use the light monsters, like if you draw your dead hand traps, you can tribute them with like a Saphir or something for a ritual summon, which that's never really going to come up. But the idea is that they do have some synergy. Not really, I wouldn't even use synergy. But just something else that I've been thinking about in terms of if I were to try and change up my side deck at all. But that is it, guys. Thank you. Again, appreciate watching the channel grow and everyone that supports and gives a little bit of feedback. I will see you guys at future events. Also, be on the lookout because I will probably have probably order some sleeves. I don't know, I'll probably do like 15 or 20 packs or something. And then if people would like to order them, I'll figure it out. But this should probably, I mean, again, if you guys like how this looks or if anyone would actually be down for a pack, I think that these are fucking sick, but obviously I'm a little biased. But regardless, guys, thank you very much, and I will see you guys next time.